Good evening, everyone, and a very hearty welcome to everyone to Aurora online classes. In the session of today, let's proceed with the lesson My Childhood. As I taught you in my previous class, that my childhood is an extract from Wings of Fire, and this Wings of Fire is the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. Let's go ahead, let's move ahead, and today, without taking much time of yours, let's proceed further. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras estate. My father, Janun Labidin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth despite these disadvantages. Underline it. He possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiamma. Underline it. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, means common or ordinary looks, born to tall and handsome parents. We lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large Pakka house made of limestone and brick on the mosque street in Rameswaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, underline it, both materially and emotionally. Since my childhood is an extract from APJ Kalam's autobiography, his book, The Wings of Fire, in the first paragraph, he talks about his birth. APJ Kalam was born in a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram, and Rameswaram is in the estate of Tamil Nadu. Earlier it was in the province of Madras. Erstwhile means former, previous. His father, he talks about his father, and his father, Janula Badin, was not very much educated man. He was neither educated nor wealthy. He was not rich. So he was neither educated nor rich, but he was a man of wisdom. He was confident of himself, and he believed in simple living and hard thinking. He was a man of strict discipline. And not only that, he talks about his mother. His mother was Ashiamma, and she was a very helpful lady. She was a very kind-hearted lady. Actually, she used to feed Ashiamma. His mother used to feed people, poor people, and outsiders daily, more than the members of her own family. So she used to feed people who came from outside, be it poor and be it some other people. So he used to feed them daily. So his mother was very helpful. She was very loving, caring, and kind-hearted lady. And mother's name was Ashiamma. Then he talks about himself. He talks about himself that he he had three sisters and one brother. They were his siblings. And he was having a common look, ordinary looks. His looks were ordinary, but he was proud to be the son of tall and handsome parents. His parents were tall and handsome, and they lived in their ancestral house in the mosque street in Rameswaram. Actually, his ancestral house was built in the 19th century, and this was on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. It was a Pakka house, ancestral house. Actually, ancestral means parental house. This was the house that belonged to his grandfather and forefathers. So this is called ancestral. In Hindi, Pustani Makan, Baap Dada ka Makan. He used to live on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. His father was a man of great wisdom. Apart from this, he also talks about that his father believed in simple living and high thinking. His father was simple and strict, and his father looked after the family very well. He his father provided all the necessities to all the children, and his father always avoided unnecessary comforts and luxuries. So his father avoided unnecessary comforts and luxuries. His father always believed in giving maximum love and care to the children. Maximum love and care and minimum comforts. So minimum comforts and maximum love and care. Kalam says that he had a very secure life, both materially in terms of medicine, food and clothes. His father provided everything. These are the things of needs. These are the necessities of life, and his father provided them. His father looked after the family very well. So Kalam had a very secure life as a young boy. His father was a large-hearted man. He looked after the family well, as I said, and he provided all necessities to the family. So his childhood was emotionally and materially very secure and strong. He got love and affection, maximum love and affection, true love and affection from his parents, and his parents provided all the necessities to him. So he had never bothered about the things of life. There was no lack of anything. So he was provided all the necessities of life. Now, paragraph 3. The Second World War broke out in 1931 when I was 8 years old. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. Underline it. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to a provision shop on Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of 1 anna. My brother-in-law, Jalaluddin would tell me stories about the war, which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Our area, being isolated, was completely unaffected by the war. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces, and something like a state of emergency was declared. The first casualty came in the form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameswaram station. The newspapers now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on Rameswaram road between Rameswaram and Dhanuskoti. That forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed newspapers in Rameswaram, to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles, and as if naturally, I filled the slot. Samsuddin helped me earn my first wages. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my own money for the first time. Now he talks about the Second World War. Actually, Kalam says that the Second World War broke out in the year 1939. And at that time, during the Second World War, Kalam was only 8 years old. And there was a sudden great demand for tamarinds in the market. Tamarind seeds in the market. Tamarind seeds, imli ka beej. Actually, that was the war time, and tamarind seeds were used for making bombs. That is why there was a great demand for the tamarind seeds in the market. And as a child, since he was 8 years old, he used to collect tamarind seeds and used to sell them to a provision shop, to a ration shop on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram, and he used to get 1 anna That was a handsome amount of money for him when he was a child. So he used to get 1 anna by selling the tamarind seeds in the market. Now, actually, what happened? He is saying that Rameswaram was isolated. It was cut off from the mainstream of India, and it was not affected by war. But when India took part in the Second World War, means when India joined the Allied forces, and Allied forces during the Second World War were the armies of UK, USA, and Russia during the Second World War. So the armies of UK, means United Kingdom, Russia, and USA were the Allied forces. And India during the Second World War, India supported UK, the Allied forces, and then the emergency like situation was declared. And now what was the effect of this emergency like situation? First of all, actually earlier the train used to stop at Rameswaram, but now the train stopping at Rameswaram station. Now the train would go from India to directly Dhanuskoti. That is why I mean to say, his brother-in-law, his brother-in-law used to tell him the stories about the Second World War. And Kalam, since he was a child, Kalam also used to read the newspaper, Tamil daily newspaper. That was a local newspaper. That was Dinamani. So Dinamani was the local newspaper in Tamil language. So his brother-in-law used to tell him the story about the Second World War, and Kalam himself used to read the story to know more and more about the Second World War from the Tamil newspaper Dinamani. So the train was suspended. The train halted at Rameswaram station was suspended. Now the train had to go from India directly to Dhanuskoti. And his cousin Samsuddin was a newspaper distributor. So he employed APJ Kalam as a helping hand, and APJ Abdul Kalam helped his cousin Samsuddin in distributing or selling the newspapers, and by selling the newspaper, Kalam also used to earn some money in order to support his family. Now after 50 years, when Kalam recalls those days when his life was full of struggles and when he used to sell the newspaper for earning some money, as Samsuddin, his cousin, had employed him as a helping hand and he used to work for Samsuddin, Kalam really feels very proud of himself, and he feels a kind of satisfaction when he recalls the days when he used to sell the newspaper after getting employed by Samsuddin, his cousin. Now, fourth, every child is born. He says every child is born with some inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figures of authority. I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father, underline it. From my mother, I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. So did my 3 brothers and sister. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramanatha Sastri, Aravindan, and Siva Prakashan. They were his close childhood friends. All these boys were from Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. Underline it. In fact, Ramanatha Sastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Sastri, the high priest of the Rameswaram temple. Later, he took over the priesthood of the Rameswaram temple from his father. Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Siv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. Now he talks about the effect of upbringing on the child. Parenting is a tough job. It's not an easy affair. Upbringing is really a tough job. And if a child is given better upbringing, he is talking about the impact of better upbringing on children. Upbringing means fostering, lalan palan, posan, parvaris in Hindi. So he talks about that every child inherits certain qualities from his parents. Every child inherits certain qualities from their parents. It is quite natural. Every child inherit means if you get any physical and mental qualities from your parents, that is called inheritance. So he is talking about that the socio-economic and emotional atmosphere has a lot to do with the upbringing of a child. If a child is brought up, or if child's upbringing is done in a better socio-economic and emotional atmosphere, the child grows up to be a good human being. And this is what he is talking about. He is talking about that what he inherited from his parents. What qualities did Kalam inherit? Means what qualities did Kalam get from his parents? He is saying that he got honesty and self-discipline. He got honesty, he got the qualities he inherited, means he got the qualities of self-discipline from his father. He got the qualities of honesty and self-discipline from his father. His father was a man of self-discipline. His father was a simple and strict man. His father was very supportive. His father was secular. His father believed in the Hindu-Muslim unity. His father was secular. His father had equal respect for all religions. His father was a generous man. He had a very large heart. So he was a large-hearted man. Now what did he get from his mother? What qualities did he learn from his mother? He is saying that he learned the qualities of having faith in goodness. He inherited faith in goodness and kind-heartedness from his mother. So he learned the qualities of kind-heartedness and faith in goodness from his mother. Now he talks about his childhood friends. He had 3 childhood friends: Ramananda Sastri, Arvindan and Siva Prakashan. They used to study with him in his childhood. So they were his close friends. They were his very close childhood friends. And they belonged to Ramananda Sastri, then Arvindan and Siva Prakashan. They belonged to the Orthodox Brahmin family. Orthodox means conservative. Orthodox means one who follows his religions very strictly, one who is very much particular about following his own religion. So Ramananda Sastri, Siva Prakashan and Arvindan, they belonged to Orthodox Brahmin family, and they followed Brahmanism. They followed their Brahmin religion from the core of their heart, and they were his childhood friends. And then when they grew up, means when Arvindan and Ramananda Sastri was the son of the head priest of Rameswaram temple. So when Ramananda Sastri grew up, he took the priesthood from his father, and he became when Ramananda Sastri grew up, he became the priest of Rameswaram temple. Then he is talking about Arvindan. Arvindan became a transporter when he grew up, bade hone ke baad. So when Arvindan grew up, he went into the business of arranging transport for pilgrims, devotees. Pilgrims means devotees, those who go to holy places. They are pilgrims. So Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for pilgrims, and then Siva Prakashan became a catering contractor. Catering, he he became the in charge of catering services. Catering services means that is the services to manage food in the train. ट्रेन में खाने पीने की व्यवस्था करने वाला, one who manages the services of catering, that is called caterer. So Shiv Prakashan became the catering contractor for the Southern Railway. So all his childhood friends actually they had three very close childhood friends, Shiv Prakashan, Avinder, Ramananda Sastri. I taught you about them. And one more thing I would like to tell you, actually they never had, since Abdul Kalam was a Muslim and they were Hindus and they belonged to the Orthodox Brahmin family, but they never had any difference on the basis of religion. They never discriminated each other, or they never discriminated any of them on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their community. They never discriminated each other that he is a Muslim or they are Hindus. There was no such difference of being a Muslim and being a Hindu. What does it mean? It means that they lived in harmony. They lived in harmony. They lived together. They lived peacefully and they enjoyed. They never discriminated anyone on the basis of their religion and caste or community. So there was a strong bond among their friends. Now, during the annual Sri Sitaram Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats. Sitaram Kalyanam ceremony, that was the marriage ceremony. That was the marriage, Kalyanam Utsav. Kalyanam Utsav in South India, this is a marriage ceremony, and this is the real depiction of Sita and the marriage of Sita and Lord Rama. So his father used to support the Hindu families for arranging boats for them. Means Kalam's father used to arrange boats for the Hindu pilgrims, and he also supported them by bringing the idols of Sita Rama from the temple to a pond, that was the Tirthasthal, that was the marriage site, and this marriage site was in a pond, and the pond was near his house. Now, Lord, from the temple to the marriage site situated in the middle of the pond. This marriage site was situated in the middle of the pond, which was called Ramatirtha, which was near our house. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the Prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. Apart from this, this is the effect of parenting, and this is the positive effect of better upbringing. He got everything. He got all the necessities of life. He got maximum care and love from his parents. The atmosphere, the environment where he was brought up, that was very good, because he lived in the Hindu society, and all of them lived in harmony. Harmony means they lived together peacefully and lovingly. That is called harmony. They lived in harmony. Number 2. Number 3, that his father believed in the Hindu-Muslim unity. And not only that, he and his brothers and sisters, means Kalam himself and his brothers and sister, used to listen to the bedtime stories about Ramayana and about the Prophet of the Prophet Muhammad. Means his mother, Kalam's mother and grandmother, used to tell Kalam and his sisters and brothers, his siblings, the stories of the bedtime stories of the Ramayana, the Holy Ramayana, and the life of great Prophet Muhammad. And this was enough to inculcate in him a sense of Hindu-Muslim unity, and it had a great impact on the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. Dear students, thank you very much. That's all for today.